So I have a few tips on how I save money in the kitchen. Not all of them apply to you. Some are very basic, should be common knowledge. But let's start. First is to save chicken water or like chicken stock. So I just boiled these chicken pieces, and here is the water. I don't want to throw away the water, so I'm gonna freeze it because I cannot use it right now. I just don't have a use for it, but I'll freeze it and use it. You can use other than ice cube trays as well. Sometimes I just use Tupperware and then dump the whole thing in the pot when I'm cooking. So like I'm making dal, I'm using the ice cubes. It's a nutritious water, so I don't want to throw it away. Secondly is the onion peels. Now a lot of people don't have any use for it. Just throw it away or compost it. I, however, use them to keep the dogs off my property, so that way I don't get dog poop. Now, this is the corner. I have a corner house, which means people get extra space to dump dog poop. They don't bother cleaning up after themselves. I've tried vinegar and all, and it's very expensive to do that, so I just use the onion peels. I lay them all around the corner of the house, outside my car, outside like the entrance area. So far, it has worked. The dogs stay away. Then we come to leftovers. Now, leftovers can be in any shape. In my case, there's this little curry, chicken curry I made. We've already had 5 meals out of this curry. So I'm now going to put them in the chopper and use it like as a flavor enhancer or just something. It's still good because I don't want to throw this away. So it's in the chopper, gets chopped. And now, like again, you could do this with other things as well, though pasta and all. Why not? If you have a chopper, and I get having electricity items can be very expensive in certain countries, but in Korea it's not that expensive for me, so I use this. So I put this in with some onions, and I'm gonna add rice, and I'll add water. I mean, it's kind of making what it's in Pakistani style. We call it plow. And it's ready, and it tasted good, so yay. Then this one is more common, but like share with your neighbors. I did this as a grad student. I would get one of my neighbors would get a whole watermelon, and she'd cut it in 4 pieces and divide it amongst 4 people. I do the same. So there, my neighbor posted about these free food items. I took the stroller because she said bring a stroller because multiple items. And I don't want to take multiple trips. So I put everything in there and I took it back. So overall, I think I might have saved around $10 to $15. Then we come to the gardening part. Now, again, this is a very privileged position. I get it. You cannot, not everyone has access to land or a space where they could garden. Community gardens are mostly a thing in the US. It's not everywhere. But if you do have land or even a balcony or a little bit of space in your apartment, do try to grow a few things. Soil would be a bit expensive, but it's an initial investment. I grew mint, or basil, some other herbs. It's hard to grow like vegetables inside because you don't get pollination from insects. But if you have a balcony, you can still grow a lot more things. So I don't save a lot of money with this, but it does supplement my savings overall. Then one of the things I do is whatever is unwanted or unneeded food, I just throw it in the curry. Like the top of the bread, nobody likes to eat it. So sometimes if I have more, I can just put it in the chopper, but this is just one. I'll like crush it with my hand and add it to this beef curry that I'm making. I do this with like little bit of milk that's left. I do it with some chips that are like left at the base of the bag, whatever just, cannot be fit in anywhere. Like this red sauce from the chicken I baked, I added this to the curry as well. And, the curry tasted good. So it just saves on resources, even if it doesn't save a lot of money. The biggest one is actually carpooling because petrol is very expensive in a lot of places. Or if you don't have a car, just Uber or taxi is very expensive. So always, if you're going, take neighbors or friends or try to carpool. When I didn't have a car, people used to take me, and I would save so much money because I didn't have to pay for taxi. Once I got a car, I would take other people to help them save money. That's how you build community. This one again is easier said than done. It's composting trash. Now in Korea, this orange bag is for food waste. I have to buy these bags in Korea. And that's fair. I am not complaining about that. And then this is white one is for the general waste. This is specific to the province I live in. Other provinces would have other types of bags. Now the thing is, I do want to minimize my cost of throwing away food. Plus, it's just better to compost. So this is a little part of the garden where I've been adding a lot of food scraps and the garden waste itself. Um, if when I lived in the US in an apartment, I would blend a few things, put them in the blender, and then just throw them on the grass, pour the thing in the grass. Now that was a bit, I was a bit limited. Like I wouldn't want to put banana peel or other things like that. But some vegetable scraps are fine. So yeah, I do save money by composting. Plus, it's good for the environment. Then, of course, most people do have freezers. Okay, a lot of them don't, but if you do have freezer, you can do bulk cooking and save. Like I bulk cooked, I made a lot of this soup. I've put it in boxes and I'm gonna freeze it and then take it out as needed. And it's not just with soups and all, like even raw vegetables like tomato I cut and froze because tomatoes get very expensive in Korea in the winter. So I don't want to be buying expensive tomatoes. Frozen ones from my freezer will work. So now we come to this part. So oil is expensive. I mean, it really is. So chicken fat or this white thing you see, it can actually help. So you cut it out, just put it in like a non-stick pan, put it on very low heat, and it will release the oil. Again, some people have issues with animal fats being unhealthy. Now you don't have to do this every day, and you have to do this with a tallow. I feel like that's a bit unhealthy, like beef fat. Anyone who's a food scientist can tell better. But yeah, so see, this is done. All this chicken fat is crispy and the oil is out. I'm gonna add the other vegetables and make my meal. As for the crispy chicken fat, you can just eat it as a snack. It does taste good. I sometimes when I have extra chicken fat, I would just like put it in the freezer, making use of freezer again, and then take it out as needed later. And the last one is just a bonus tip, just to keep your fridge and your shelves all organized. If you forget you have food there, that food will get wasted. So constantly looking at the corners of the shelves, what's behind in the shelf or in the drawers of the refrigerator, because I used to forget putting things in. Like once you become independent, learning not to waste food in the kitchen is also an art. These were some tips. Hope they help you. If they don't, it's okay. I'm sorry for wasting your time. But just remember, save on resources because that also saves us money and it's good for the environment.